Okay, it's 2 o'clock, so we're going to call the Rules and Open Government Committee meeting for February 5th to order. Let's have roll call, please.
Here. Here.
Here. All right, we're going to start by reviewing the agenda for Tuesday, February 11th, which has a 9:30 closed session. It's noticed for the meeting to start at 11 a.m. with a lunch break and continuing as long as it takes to do all of the budget study session. I think the evening is only if we need it, right? I mean, that evening, yeah. Okay, so we'll start with consent on page 5. Continuing on pages 6 and 7. And then on section 3, we have the mid-year budget review report. Section 8, we have a public hearing on weed abatement. And we have 2 items on land use consent. So, and there's an ad sheet. Are there any members, any public comment for this?
No public comment.
All right, do we have any questions or motion?
Move approval of the agenda plus the ad sheet.
Second.
And just to confirm that the evening session noticed is really, the study session is going to occur immediately following the regular session. Is that correct?
Correct.
So it's not really listed properly then, is it?
Yeah, I kind of wondered about that too.
Because this shows that the evening study session starts at 6.
Well, it's mentioned in the afternoon as well. Study session, 11 a.m., right? It says study session fiscal year, and then evening study session. So I don't know why we need it listed in both
We can go back.
places,
We
but-
can also communicate out the way that we see this playing out. Closed session will still start at 9:30. Regular session will start at 11, and we'll get through mid-year as well as anything else we can other than 8.1 and the land use items, and then you'll have a lunch break. And then 1:30 will be ceremonials, 8.1 the land use items, and then we'll start study sessions. So study session has the ability to go over in tonight, or if you guys want to pause for dinner, but I don't believe it will.
Okay.
So evening session
I also
is kind
thought
of
yesterday
if
was going to end
necessary.
earlier than it did, though.
Huh?
I did think yesterday was going to end earlier than it did, though.
So we can't predict
Yeah, we
next
didn't
week
have
either.
dinner yesterday.
Yeah. they were cranky.
Council members were grumpy because we didn't have.
I didn't notice that.
Sure, uh-huh.
So the evening is sort of an if necessary thing, right? And
Correct.
but we don't. It's kind of interesting to me because we don't say that about other council meetings when they just run late.
It
right?
could be because part of it is a study session. Is that true, Clerk?
That's correct.
Well, can't we, see, I think this is confusing to the public. I think we should eliminate the evening study session.
Yes.
Since the 11 o'clock agenda item already says budget priority session, this appears that people can come here at 6 and we will still be continuing the budget session. So I think we need to eliminate that, and
Okay.
that would be my motion.
Or perhaps even to say to have 11 a.m. and 1:30 as the 2 sessions because 1:30 we're taking a break at lunch.
Sure, that's,
And
that,
we're gonna. I don't know if we want
You
to.
okay with that?
I just think 11 is fine,
Okay.
because 1:30, it still applies.
Yeah.
We're really just continuing on the meeting. This implies that at 6 o'clock, we're gonna go into the priority setting session when we have already been doing it since lunchtime.
It's very fair. We can make that correction in the agenda.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we had a motion, and I think, was a second? Okay, and you're obviously okay with the changes. All right, let's move on to a vote then.
Thanks, I just wanna be clear. 'cause the
Makes
public
sense.
will
It was
show up.
confusing to me, too. All right, motion carries 4-0. We do not have a meeting on February 18th, so we will not be reviewing a second agenda. We have 4 items on consent. Actually, no, I'm flipping around. We have 7 items on consent today. Are there any members of the public? Doesn't
No
look like it.
public comment.
Okay, so back to the committee
Move
for
approval.
consent. We had a motion and a second on consent. Well, let's vote. Motion carries 4-0, and that is it, except on to open forum.
No public comment.
No public comment. All right, we are adjourned at 2:05.
Good.
Thank you.